Hi, Chris Mc Loone here with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. I'm here today. We're at FDIC International 2023. Thought it was a good time to go over electric fire trucks. There are a lot of questions out there from people. I have Zach Paul here. He is the demo specialist for Rosenbauer, and he's going to talk to us today about some of the advantages of what the electric vehicle brings to a fire department, as well as the operation and answers to some of the questions that people have about electric fire truck operation in general. So let's get started. We're in the cab of the RTX, and there are a variety of advantages that an electric vehicle brings to the table for fire departments, one of them being the absence of an engine tunnel. Could you talk a bit just about the cab and how that lack of an engine tunnel improves the ergonomics of the truck?
Yes, sir. So, as you know, we don't have a standard engine in here or a drive line, so it allows us to keep the center of the gravity of the vehicle super low. So as you can see inside of the cab here, inside the main cabin area, we have a nice low engine tunnel, and then even lower when we're entering the vehicle, we want to make sure that we kept firefighter safety and ergonomics in mind. So when we designed the vehicle, we want to make sure the entry and exit of the vehicle was nice and low to the ground so we could reduce falls and everything like that. So that's why on the outside of the cab, you'll see that at our lowest ride height, we have only 7 inches off the ground. Make it safer for firefighters to get in and out of the cab, and makes an overall better experience when you're inside the vehicle.
And also right now, the truck is running.
Yes,
you know, and we're having a fine conversation here. We don't have to yell over each other or anything like that. So again, when you're thinking about just ambient noise and what we often hear on route to calls, with the sirens blaring and stuff like that, but also on the inside of the truck, that's another firefighter health and safety kind of factor as well. Okay, we're back outside now, and as you can see, the compartment here has a lot of firefighting equipment, the stuff you would find on any fire apparatus in order for us to go in and do our jobs. But what you don't see here is that also what's powering this vehicle is located here. So could you just talk a little bit about, the battery location, maybe why that location was chosen, and how, again, that contributes to the overall design of the truck?
Yes, sir. So we have a kind of popular image that we show during presentation. It's kind of like a half cutout of this truck. It's or sort of an X-ray, if you will. And when we designed this truck, and we're in the process of building this truck about 6-7 years ago, we wanted to make sure that every single inch of space was used. So behind these walls of these compartments, every single inch of this truck is used. We have 2 batteries that supply power to this truck. We have one that runs vertically right behind the cab, and then one that runs horizontally. Those are 2 Volvo Penta batteries. They are 132 kilowatt hours. At their max capacity, they're equivalent to about 460 horsepower. So pretty large battery, pretty large powertrain. A lot of good advantages of not having a drive line or an engine. We can, again, as you can see at our lowest ride height, have it nice and low to the ground, easier to grab those higher items in those compartments. So we wanted to try and keep firefighters at our foremost when we were building this truck. So we kept safety and loading and lifting at a good front of our minds when we were designing this truck as well.
There are a lot of things for fire departments to consider when they're speccing out any fire apparatus, whether it be an electric vehicle or whether it have an internal combustion engine. One of those things is the pump. And one of the questions that I often get is, what size pumps are able to be put on an electric fire truck? I think there's not a lot of understanding that, with a battery powered vehicle, the pump can still do its job. So could you talk a little bit about the pump that's on this truck?
Yes, sir. So this pump is the Rosenbauer NH pump, 1500 GPMs. We meet all the standard NFPA requirements and UL requirements for pump testing and everything. We prefer to have the Rosenbauer pumps in here. It's actually the only ones that it's available with currently. Our Rosenbauer pumps, normal pressure, high pressure pumps. So we are we've been manufacturing our own pumps in-house since our foundation in 1866. Our Rosenbauer pump, again, normal pressure, high pressure, same impeller. So we're the only pump manufacturer to have that. So with this truck, you have the capability to pump normal pressures as well as high pressures off our booster reel off the back of the truck, and pump upwards of 600 PSI. So for those long, brush fires that might need, some high pressure water, or, you can use less water at high pressure. That's definitely a big benefit of here. We also have 500 gallons of water on this truck as well. So that is our max limit right now, currently 500 gallons. And again, most fire trucks, most pumpers will spec out anywhere between 500 and 750 gallons of water. So pretty industry standard for what is normal currently. Okay.
So we're on location. We've got our 500 gallons of water. Now we got to get it out of the truck. This is not what we normally see on a pumper. We're used to looking at, mechanical valves, or if they're electric valves, just switches. Could you talk a little bit about this control unit?
Yes, sir. So the beautiful part about this is the Rosenbauer LCS system, logic control system, and this is a fully synced system between back here at the pump panel and up front at the control display. At the control display, you have the operation to turn on the pump, start pumping from the cab. You can also open 2 discharges from up there. You can open up the bumper discharge as well as the roof turret discharge. Back here, you have the operations to open any of the side discharges, rear intakes, everything like that. Our logic control system, we want to make it as easy as we can for firefighters. So we have simple push button displays here to operate traffic advisor. We have options to turn on automatic tank level control. You can manually fill your tank from here as well. All of our discharges as well, simple 1-button control to fully open them, and then you can also set them as presets as well if you want to have them only open to a certain point or have them go up to a certain pressure. So a lot of the same systems as a conventional pumper with pull rods or sealed lever vent controls, just a new system kind of coming up with the times. So, yeah.
All right, well, we're to the rear of the truck now. We talked a little bit about the pump, how it's going to get the water to the scene. We're also going to talk a little bit about the hose bed in a second, but would you talk to me right now about this booster line?
Yes, sir. So this is by far our first customers, LA City's one of their favorite options on their truck is this high pressure booster line, 200 feet of inch hose. What it allows us on the Rosenbauer NH pump, we can bump up the pressure all the way up to 600 psi, and we can flow water out of our Rosenbauer Napiro nozzle. This nozzle right here is designed to take high pressure and give the firefighter better ergonomics when operating under high pressure. You can imagine pumping at 600 psi has just a little bit of force. So this Napiro nozzle allows us to operate at that high pressure, as well as the Rosenbauer NH pump. So they just don't even barely take off their pre-connect lines of their inch and 3/4 hose. This is a very nice and useful option on Rosenbauer RTX.
Just talk about real quick how much hose capacity is in the hose bed.
Sure. So we got 2 hose beds, one for large diameter hose and one for whatever you may use it for, another large diameter. But currently in this truck we have spec'd out. We have 1,000 feet of 5-inch hose and 1,000 feet of 2.5-inch hose. So plenty of backup hose or supply line if you need it.
One of the unique features of this truck is the all-wheel steer. Could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yes, sir. So by far one of the biggest things that sets us apart as a manufacturer and our electric fire engine is our capabilities and maneuverabilities of this truck. Not only do we have standard front steer, but we have all-wheel steering as well. Allows us to get a 38 feet turning radius, which is unheard of in the fire industry with a fire engine. Allows us to operate in, we can turn around in a 2-lane road with this fire engine. Front steer, front wheel steer with the rear wheels, acting as almost a tiller operation. Allow you to move the back end more than if the wheels were straight. Combined with that, we also have a crab walk feature where the wheels will turn in the same direction at the same time in case you had to navigate across the tight space or anything like that, needed to get around a vehicle. Another great feature. Full air ride suspension. We partnered up with Hendrickson. They supply our air ride suspension for us on this truck. So definitely a lot of great benefits with having all-wheel steer. And if a customer ever wants to have an opportunity to have an RTX come out and demonstrate in their city, we'd be more than willing to come out and show them the maneuverabilities and operations of the Rosenbauer RTX.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Zach, again, for taking some time out. We learned a lot about the RTX in general, just a lot of the different features that it has, but also a lot about what being an electric vehicle brings to the table in terms of the design of the apparatus and some of the things that it allows to happen in terms of ergonomics and things like that. Again, this has been Chris Mc Loone with Fire Apparatus and Emergency Equipment. I'm here at FDIC International 2023. We're wrapping up in a couple days here, but I thought it was a real good opportunity to just kind of learn a little bit more about electric vehicles and answer some of the questions you may have. So have a good one and stay safe.